Warm greetings from the High 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans, and thanks for joining me. I brought you commentary earlier this evening pertaining to Boy H. It is been rumored that he has a court appointment tomorrow, and this commentary is pertaining to what will be the fate of Boy H. As most of you know who are following the storyline pertaining to the disappearance of Summer Wells, he has been alleged to have seen the child before she went missing. We do not have a correct time of when the child went missing, who are all the key players, eyewitnesses, cohorts, nor suspects in the said disappearance of Summer Wells. And I'm questioning what will happen to Boy H, if indeed tomorrow is the court date. What will happen to him? Will he be going back to New York with the father, or will he be staying here in Tennessee? What is his role in this case? Is the father petitioning for full custody of Boy H? Is he fighting tooth and nail for his son? Is Ali Mulani fighting tooth and nail for her child? As you know, she has been the main source of information pertaining to the rumors and rhetoric pertaining to the disappearance of Summer Wells, and rumors pertaining to Candace Bly and Candace Bly's personal business, and said information pertaining to her household. You see, it is Allison who has put out a lot of rumors pertaining to abuse by Candace Bly against the child, Summer Wells, alleging what has been alleged is that her girl child ran away to Candace Bly. She let her son go on June 15th with she, Candace's mother, and Summer. Why? It's been alleged they don't have a good relationship, Allison and Miss Candace. So why would you send your child with her on that said day, June 15th? If you claim that she is abusive to her child, girl child, who is currently missing, why would you send your child to be with Candace Bly? What do you know of the relationship between your son and Candace Bly? Does Boy H want to stay in Tennessee? What is the truth pertaining to June 15th? What did he see? Is he a witness? Is he a cohort? Is he a suspect in the disappearance of Summer Wells? What is the truth pertaining to June 15th? The things that they have told us via the interview room. What is the truth? Has Allison told the truth, or her son, has he also told the truth pertaining to things about Candace Bly, what happened June 15th, the places that they went, his actual relationship with Candace Bly? What relationship is the truth pertaining to Boy H and Candace Bly? As I brought you commentary earlier pertaining to Boy H's father, Andrew, speaking to Evil Exists, I didn't even know that they spoke, or that he has spoken, period, to social media. But he is basically disgusted with what he's hearing, or let's just say he doesn't like what he has been hearing about his son, and that is to be expected. He is the father. But people talk, and he has his baby's mother to thank, Allie, because she's the one who put out these rumors pertaining to Candace Bly. So he might want to go knock on her door and have a chit-chat with his son's mother and ask her, why did you do that? Has he had a talk with Allie to ask her, why did you put these things out? What have they said in confidence with one another pertaining to the disappearance of Summer Wells and Boy H and his involvement? Is Boy H a misfit? There are allegations that he tried to take a woman out of a car a few months ago, whatsoever. What is the truth pertaining to that event? What will become of that said case? Guilty, not guilty? How will he plead? What was his role? What was the reasoning, the motive for that crime? How does that woman feel towards this young man? Forgive or not to forgive? Does he want to stay in Tennessee, or does he want to go back to New York? What will the judge decide on the fate of Boy H? Will the judge say, there's too much going on with this family? I've seen things, I've heard things, I've got proof of things. He doesn't need to stay with the mother, nor does he need to go to New York. Is the father a good fit, Mr. Andrew? What will be the fate of boy H? Will the judge weigh in the favor of Allie, Mulani, or will the judge weigh in the favor of Mr. Andrew? Where does boy H want to go? Does he want to stay here? Should he be able to stay here? Is he involved in this case? As I state, a witness, cohort, and or suspect. Is he covering for Candace Bly? You see, sometimes we can hear one thing from a person, but they mean another, or they're covering for somebody, or they're adding a little, taking away, fabricating, lying. What is the truth pertaining to what he has told the interview room? Is boy H a problem child, misfit, delinquent minor? Does he need to be in a facility? Perhaps not with neither parent. Perhaps he needs to be in a juvenile facility, another family member's home, relative. Where does he need to reside? Does he need some type of help, mental help? Who's to say? What issues does he have? Does this child, boy H, have any mental issues, disabilities? Has his parents done right by him? And when we hear all the things that we have heard pertaining to his mother, her coming out, telling those things about Candace Bly, about the children, being left alone, and abuse, Summer, locked down in a basement, being abused physically. Why in the world would you still be friends with her? Or when did you actually cut off your relationship with Candace Bly? Why would you let your child go into the company of Candace Bly on June 15th if indeed you had no relationship with her? Made all these allegations about her. Your child allegedly ran to her home at some point. Do not have the exact time or date. Why in the world would you, Allie, on June 15th, send your child into her company when you did not have a relationship with her, allegedly? And then after all this mess arose with the disappearance of the child, you go to social media and go ham and tell all the dirty deeds pertaining to Candace Bly. Are you fit to raise boy H? I say no. Your actions have been deplorable, and you have been absolutely ghetto ratchet and going to the YT and Facebook telling all these nasty things about Candace Bly, whether they are truth or not. You had no business doing that, knowing you are a parent and knowing that people will start talking and gossiping, speculating, and knowing that you, as I state, have minor children. How did you think that this was going to pan out in your favor and the favor of your children? Is it true your child has been threatened, your children? Are you all's lives in danger? What is the truth pertaining to your lives in Kingsport? Are you fit to raise boy H and your other children? Does boy H want to live with you? Does he want to go back or to New York? What will the judge decide in the favor of boy H? He can stay with his mom or he needs to go to New York. Is this a petition, custody petition from the father wanting full custody of boy H? What is the truth? Could it be neither parent is fit to raise boy H? And as I stated, I didn't even know the father was talking to anyone on the network, giving commentary, and what was repeated from Evil Exists, not very much, just that he's going to wait to see what's going to happen with the courts, and he is disappointed in what people are saying about his son. And rightfully so. That is his child. Even if the allegations are true, somewhat true, you understand what I'm saying? No one likes to be talked about. Boy H. Victim. Eyewitness. Cohort. Or suspect. Where does his fate lie? And what will happen to boy H? Will he stay? Or will he be sent to New York with his biological father? And will there be any repercussions of the behavior of his mother? pertaining to the information that she has relayed to social media? Will she also be standing in the balance? Will she have to stand account for not doing well by her children? Will she also be in the same predicament as Mr. and Mrs. Wells? Will that be called into question in court? That you played a hand in the dysfunction of your child, him getting into trouble months ago with allegedly trying to take a woman out of a vehicle, and any other misdeeds that he has done, because naturally anything that he's done will be sealed because he's a minor. What type of environment is he actually living in that home in Kingsport? Does his mother work? What type of company does she keep? Does she treat her child well, her children? Is she fit? Does she use drugs, drink heavily? What type of life is Allie offering her children? What type of life does the father have in New York? Is the father on the up and up? Is he fit to raise Boy H? And where does Boy H want to live? What will be the verdict pertaining to Boy H? Will he be able to stay, or will he be sent to New York? Will the father gain full custody? Will the mother remain having custody of the child? Because you see, the summer has come and gone, and he's been here the whole time. And as I told you, Jeremy Dugan was summoned to go in to aid the child to New York with Human Aid Solutions. And that was a no-go because Allie called the police, and they came to the house in Kingsport, and Jeremy was not able to get the child safely to New York. So Allie asked myself, and many probably are asking, why did you call the police? Why did you do that to your child? The man alleges that he has custody of the child during the summer, so why would you intervene in not getting the child there? Why did you do that? What is the truth about why that boy did not make it to New York? And why have you immersed yourself in the disappearance of Summer Wells? It has now been a big mess because you ran to social media telling all these dirty things about Candace Bly, yourself, and your son. And then you allowed your son to talk to Chris Madonna, which was not a good idea because this is an open investigation pertaining to a missing child. So why would you do that? You see, you've had no regard for yourself nor your children, and I do not think you are fit to raise neither child that is in your possession. And I do not know if his father is a better fit, but you definitely don't need custody of your children. And I do believe you will probably end up in the same predicament as the Wells. And I'm wondering if that will be an issue in court tomorrow, if indeed tomorrow is the court date. Will the judge call your bluff and bring out things about you that are not so nice, as you did to social media pertaining to Candace Bly? You see, sometimes the boomerang comes back around. And I think in your case, it's going to probably land tomorrow morning. And you'll have time to think about that. Boy H, will he stay or will he go? Where does he want to go? Where does he want to be? Who is the better parent for Boy H? Or will he end up possibly in a facility somewhere for juveniles? Neither parent will be deemed fit to care for Boy H. What was the relationship between Boy H and Candace Bly? Will that be a factor during the court proceedings? What will all be said during court proceedings? What witnesses will be introduced? Will there be witnesses to give account of who and what, where, why, pertaining to Boy H, where he should be living? What will Boy H say? on behalf of himself? Will he tell the judge where he wants to go? And indeed, it was said to me that weeks ago when all this mess transpired, this child missing, Summer Wells, he was excluded, free from being a suspect, person of interest. But I believe now he's being looked into. And perhaps that is why he has never gone back to New York, even after the fact of Jeremy intervening on behalf of the father, Mr. Andrew, that perhaps police have told Allie, your son can't go anywhere because he is one of the last persons to see Summer Wells, and we want him here. You can't go to New York. Is that what happened? Did the police tell Allie he had to stay here? Because as I state, why would she not want him to go see his father? And is he a person of interest in the disappearance of Summer Wells? What is the fate of Boy H? Eyewitness, cohort, or suspect? Will the truth be revealed pertaining to June 15th? And has he doomed himself, Boy H, by speaking to Chris O'Donnell? And has Allie doomed herself by running to social media? I do not believe she's fit. From what has been repeated on the YT and social media, I do not think she needs her children. The fact that her daughter ran to Candace Bly, allegations of her wanting to be living as a gay person but underage. What happened there? Why did this child run to Candace Bly of all places? How did she get there if that is the truth? Did Candace pick her up? What is the real reason Candace Bly and Allie do not speak? And why in the world would you send your child on June 15th in the company of Candace Bly when you allege that she abused her own child, Summer Wells, and locked her in a basement? You see, you're not fit. Because what decent human being would send their child in the company of a woman who you alleged abused her 5-year-old daughter? Does that make any logical sense? And you also had to know how she lived because she alleges you stayed in her home. So you know how Candace Bly and Mr. Donald Wells live on the mount. So you're a willing participant to the buffoonery and the foolishness and the disarray of the property outside and inside. And you saw how they all lived with their children on the mount. And you stayed there for however long, knowing these things, being her friend, falling out with her, your child going to her home for whatever reason, and then later down the road, June 15th, you allow your child to go into the company of the same person that you've brought forth terrible allegations against. No way in hell do you deserve to have custody of Boy H or any child. And as I state, I do not know if Mr. Andrew is a good fit, a good parent, because I don't know him, I don't know you. But what I've seen from you is ugly and vile. And you do not need to be raising children. Boy H, what will become of him? Will he remain in Tennessee with Allie Mulani? Or will the judge weigh in favor of his father, Andrew? When I get the said information, I will bring it to you. I want to thank you all for joining me. If you want to donate to Everyday Shenanigans, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you for my new subscribers. Those tuning in, stopping in, please comment on the community post on the designated post pertaining to the subject matter. This is Everyday Shenanigans.